Are we live? We live? Yep, we're live. Sadie, stop licking yourself. What is up, guys? It's Mari back here with another live stream. So today, well, tonight technically, it's 6 o'clock for me right now, 6:20, and I'm so exhausted. But I finally found the perfect time to do this live stream, so I can't put it off any longer. So a week or two ago, I finished off this red sketchbook, and today I'm gonna do a little sketchbook tour about what I've drawn during class, during school, while I'm in school. Some things I may even have drawn outside of school. You never know. But without any further delay, let's get into it. So, the first thing I ever drew in this sketchbook, I got this brand new sketchbook. I was like, I don't know what I want to draw in it first. And I was sitting next to my best friend Aliana, who's a horse girl, and I was like, hey, you want me to draw a horse for you? And she's like, sure. So, oops, I drew this horse. It looks bad because I've never been near a horse in real life. Well, I've been near a horse twice maybe in my life. A lot of this stuff is really, really old though, so you'll have to forgive if there's anything really bad in here. This was a gift I made for my friend. We always make jokes about how he would be like a cute cat person. And so this was just me grabbing his ears. It's not gay. This was a gift I made for that same friend. I'm not really gonna go into detail about this one on second thought. Just enjoy it. This was a thing I made. It was a drawing of Mari. I was experimenting with different outfits for her. And so I drew this. Sorry, my dog is doing stuff in my kitchen, and I have to make sure she's not tearing through anything. You know, dog struggles. Next, this was a small comic I made, again with a Neko version of my friend. And I'm not sure how. I need to find better lighting so you can see it. Basically it's just a comic where I grab his ears, and then his friend is like, can I touch your ears? And he hisses at him, and then his friend's like, how come she can touch them? And then he just hesitates and says yes, and then that's the end. This was another gift I made for my friend. I was testing out realistic type hair. My art gets really realistic near the end of this. But for now, it's pretty cringy looking back. Next, this was an idea I got off Pinterest. And it's Auntie and Haley. And Auntie's wearing a shirt that says sin. And then Haley's wearing a shirt that says not guilty. After that, I made another drawing of me and my friend that was kind of based on that idea. But his says Bean because I always call him Bean. And then mine says Buster because he always calls me Buster. Next, I have Hanu's reference sheet. This is like crazy old. And so it has like a list of things, facts and stuff about her. So I guess I'll just read this off to you. Hopefully y'all won't get like too bored listening to this. It's not that long. So of course she is a cat quirk. She's a NECA. She's got cat claws. Some interesting facts about her are that she calls Izuku Zuzu. Thinks of nicknames for people because she can't remember names. She's constantly eating to maintain her cat form. Staying in her cat form requires a lot of her energy, so the way she gains back that energy is by eating. So she's constantly like always hungry. A lot of the time, like something I like if she was an actual character in the anime, something she would always be doing is she'd be in like Izuku's hair on his head, and while they're like having lunch in the cafeteria, he would like take some of his food and hold it up to her, and she'd eat it and they'd share it because they're siblings and it's not gay. So she calls Izuku Baka every time he blushes around a girl. She constantly licks his tears in cat form to comfort him when he cries. She's easily flustered, and she turns into a cat when flustered, scared, or surprised. So if Todoroki were to suddenly not be able to control his sexual desires and pin her to a wall, she would turn straight into a cat and fall to the floor. She hates Bakugo with a passion because Bakugo always bullies Izuku, so she calls Bakugo Baka because she doesn't like him, and that was it. And obviously, her crush is Todoroki. Some of y'all may not know this, but I literally watched BNHA just so I could fangirl Todoroki. Like, I'd always seen stuff about him, like, around the internet, and I was like, man, that guy's really cute, but I don't know anything about him. So I'm gonna watch this anime so I can fangirl him. And I did. So, I'm gonna skip a lot of stuff that I'm unhappy with. This is a realistic drawing of Shoto I did. Some of y'all probably saw this as an older video on my channel from a TikTok I made. This was a redraw I did. Actually, I did this redraw on another live stream. So yeah, that's pretty cool. This I made for a TikTok. Speaking of my TikTok, you should go follow me. So yeah, that's a thing. This was another thing for TikTok. It was an art challenge about creating an OC. It was like the gender had to be the opposite of yours. It had to be like natural hair color. If you would own a dog or something, the eyes had to be your favorite color, and the clothes had to match your phone case. And so I did that. Also, hi, sorry, I was in the middle of a sentence when you said that in the chat, and I was like, oof. Another thing for TikTok, Izuku Bean. He is the best. I love him. We skip that. Okay. This guy. So, I'm not sure about anyone else, but do you ever have those dreams that you're like in a video game and there's actually like original video game characters that your brain created in there? That's who this guy is. This guy's name is Jeremy, and he was in one of my video game dreams I had. And basically what since I'm going into game design as well, I'm bouncing like in between game design and animation right now, art and animation. If I do go into game design, I'm probably going to make a game based on him. Basically, the story is Jeremy finds this piece of alien technology that he has here. And basically, like the police or something, the FBI want it because, it's alien technology. So he has to protect it. And just a lot of weird things happen. This was a commission I made for my friend. And I was really happy with it. But I accidentally made the shirt the wrong color and I didn't marker, so I couldn't fix it. So, this was something I wanted to draw for him anyways. I thought it looked really cute. So because I did the wrong color, I promised him that I'd redo it for my stupidity, because I felt bad. And this was the redo I did with this shirt in the correct color. My friend is a big TF2 fan, if you couldn't tell. This was another drawing I did of Shoto, but his head is a weird shape, and I hate it. So, oof. I kind of hate this. This was a drawing I was doing of the Game Grumps because in my college class, I used to sit next to a guy who looks exactly like Dan from the Game Grumps. Just like younger. But I think he moved to a different seat on a different row. So, yeah. This was something I made in math class because I was bored. So, my friend, you can't draw memes and make it a crossover because you're bored. Me. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's the Larry the Lobster Observe meme. And then it says my friend, and it's Thanos, the impossible meme. This was a coloring test I did. I barely finished it. And of course, that's a self-portrait. This was a random sketch thing I did. Testing out, like, how to draw feathers and stuff. This was another one trying to test out feathers. I was super proud of this. I'm not sure. I gotta figure out how to get you guys to see the pencil. Don't mind all of this that I'm skipping. It's just a bunch of stuff I never finished because it looked badder and I gave up on it or something. This was a drawing I made for my friend of their OC with shading and stuff. A while back, I wanted to do an art challenge where Gacha Life gave me random ships that I had to make fan art for. So the first, but it was with my OCs and their boyfriends. So the first one I got was Markiplier x Todoroki. So I imagine them as those two guys in anime who neither of them are gay, but they always end up in situations that seem gay. One is standing against a wall and the other one walks towards him but trips and then does this and pins the other one to the wall, and then someone walks in and they just see one guy pinning the other guy to the wall and they're like, oh, y'all are gay, and they're like, no, this isn't what it looks like. So that's how I imagined Mark and Todoroki. So it's Mark pinning Todoroki to a wall, and Todoroki says this is not what it looks like. Then the next one I had was the three-way ship, and it was Mari and Haley in love with Hanu. Now, Hanu, for those of you who don't know, Mari is bisexual, Haley is bisexual, but Hanu is straight. Hanu is like my only straight OC, but Hanu is straight. So I imagine it as like Haley is like the super shy and cute one, Mari is the super sexual one, who becomes fixated on Hanu. But Hanu is not interested in either of them because she's straight. So, camera. That's what I tried to depict here. Next, this looks really bad, and I kind of hate it. But it's basically Shoto finally like opening up to Hanu and crying into her because he's sad being. This was a design for villain Hanu. Actually, take notes, guys. This is canon. Hanu is actually her future. She never becomes a hero. She actually ends up becoming like an assassin. And when like Izuku or someone asks her why, she shows like her cat claws. She's like got Wolverine. She's a kind of like Wolverine more of. And she's like, you can't save people with a quirk like this. All you can do is hurt people. So literally all she does is she's an assassin for money. She's neither a hero nor a villain. It's just whoever pays her the most money gets the job done. And she always has a half white, half red rose in like her pocket to represent her loved one, Todoroki. Did I show the design? I don't know if I did or not. This was another BNHAOC I created. She's a snake girl, and she was one that would be shipped with Kirishima. I may never use her or animate her or anything like ever. So this was a drawing I made of my friend's OC. I made this drawing once, like, so long ago, and I hated it because it didn't have the right atmosphere. Because I wanted it to have, like, a cool anime character who doesn't give a fuck vibe. But I didn't get that correctly in the first one. And then I tried again in the second one, and it looked bad. So I redid it, and I think I finally got like the energy I wanted, the cool, not giving a fuck vibe anime character vibe thing. I don't know. I'm saying vibe a lot. Vibe check. Psh. I'm sorry. I'll go kill myself now. I was practicing with different art styles for male characters and female characters. So it looks bad, but I did it with Auntie and Haley. But the anatomy looks weird on both. So, honestly, I was messing around with anatomy for a while. Another anatomy thing I was messing with is Hanu and Izuku sleeping together, because they actually do. If she was a character in the anime, the Izuku's mother couldn't afford a bigger house, nor like another bed, because the room was too small. So, and they were siblings anyway. They were like twins, so they slept together all their life, and slowly it gets more and more weird. Because they're not kids anymore, and Hanu's a brother con and such. Actually, I wanted to make a conspiracy video a while back. Like, I'm not sure if any of y'all remember. Some of y'all OGs who are subscribed to my channel may remember when I was a Connor fangirl from Detroit Become Human. Technically, for those of you who remember, technically that was kind of an incest ship as well, because my Detroit Become Human OC Haley, she thought of Hank, as her father. And so did Connor. So technically that there was some weird stuff happening there, but whatever. Then we have a realistic eye I drew. I was really proud of that. Then we have something, I wanted to make Hanu and Izuku look more like twins. So I referenced Izuku directly from the anime, and then I drew Hanu, referencing this drawing. And they look a lot like twins in this. This was a depressing speed paint I decided to make, where Izuku got badly hurt, so Hanu goes to like recovery girl saying, "Please save my brother so he doesn't die." This was an anatomy test I hate of myself wearing a PMA hoodie from one of Jacksepticeye's PMA hoodies. This was a drawing I was trying to reference directly from the anime of Shoto Todoroki, but the face is too long and I hate it. Because, This was a drawing I drew of a book character whose name is Jamie Thompson. He's from the book Awkward. I'm not sure who's read it, who hasn't. He is the cutest bean, and he's so adorable, and I want to scream every time I see him. He's just so cute. Oh my god. No, now is not the time for fangirling. So then after that, here's another drawing I tried to make of him directly referenced from the book, because it's a graphic novel, but I made his hair too big and poofy. But he's so adorable. And so, actually getting in the mood for the cold season, because actually it was kind of snowing this morning where I live, so I'm looking forward to that. This is Hanu clinging to Shoto because he's warm, he's fireness and stuff. I'm not sure if any of you know who Reina Telgemir is. She wrote the book Drama, she wrote Smile, she wrote Sisters, she wrote Ghosts. She's probably written more, but those are the only ones I've read. I tried to draw something my OC in her art style. So yeah. I don't know if I want to show this one on a live stream, because I drew it of someone who goes to my school, but I drew it without their consent, and I don't know, I just kind of I'd feel like a creep if they ever found out. But you know what? Fuck it. I asked him out recently, and he ghosted me, and that's the second time he's ghosted me, so whatever. This is a drawing I made of my crush, kind of stylized, kind of not. Because he was sitting there on his Chromebook and he looked so pretty, so I drew him. I'm a creep. I am a goddamn creep. So I just drew him. I actually asked him out recently, as I said, and I've heard nothing from him, so oof. This was a drawing I made for Connor, the guy I was dating for a while. I broke up with him now because, I don't know, there were a lot of things he did that kind of annoyed me, and I didn't want to bring it up because it was a part of his personality, and I didn't want to, I don't know, and it's hard to explain. I felt like there was going to be more pain trying to keep the relationship than if I had actually just cut it off. So, and it was an online relationship, and I didn't want that anyways, because I'm a very clingy person. I want to date someone who's physical in the real world, especially someone who goes to school with me, that I can see every day, that I can hug them and hold their hand. So, sorry, my dog's being weird. So, I broke things off with him. This was a drawing I made of Hanu, but I accidentally made the boobs too big. It just kind of happens. I don't even mean for it to. This was a horrible drawing I made of Spinel. Y'all aren't going to be able to see a lot of this. Now we're getting more into when October was around. So most YouTubers participate in Inktober. It's kind of hard to explain. I am a person who, I don't know how to phrase this, gets turned on, gets sexually off of, whatever, men crying out in pain. I know, it's weird. Wait, let me explain. I don't know how it started, but ever since I was young, I would always kind of enjoy the parts where male main characters got hurt in movies. I never knew why until within the past year. Suddenly, I was watching an anime, I remember, and like a character in it got shot, and like I don't know why, but my heart started hurting really badly, and like my entire body got hot, and I don't know how, but I assume that's what, I don't know, it's just, that's how I think someone getting turned on would feel. And so, that's kind of how I found out it was my kink. So, I wanted to participate in something about people getting injured. I know it's weird. I'm fully aware that I openly say it's weird. So, I decided to try Goretober. So instead of Inktober, I'm going to show you my Goretober drawings. So the first one was Goretober for day 8, and it was bandages. So I drew Shoto just beaten up after a fight, I assume with a villain or something. Then after that, this was an ugly drawing I made of Hanu kissing Shoto. Goretober for day 9 was pills. So a lot of people probably don't know this because I haven't been really open about it, but Hanu is actually a drug addict. There is a part of her backstory where, since she's a brother con, when Izuku ends up falling in love with, now I don't care about who you ship Izuku with. Personally, I am a Bakudeku shipper. I know, yes, Hanu hates Bakugo, but personally, I ship Bakugo and Deku. But in Hanu's universe, Izuku falls in love with Uraraka, who obviously he's in love with in the anime. So in Hanu's universe, when Izuku falls in love with Uraraka, Hanu gets so depressed and jealous, she starts taking drugs. And honestly, she was gonna try and kill herself, but she decided she would. It's her backstory is kind of weird. I haven't really figured it out. Basically, she goes out to try and get some some drugs that she could overdose on, and she hears fighting in a house that she walks by. So she sneaks into the yard in her cat form, and it turns out to be Todoroki's house. And Shoto and Endeavor are arguing, so Shoto goes outside and starts training for the hero match. And then Endeavor catches Hanu spying, and Shoto backs Hanu up and saves her, and while Shoto's walking her home, she confesses that she likes him, and then like a week later, he confesses that he likes her too, and they get together. So, but yeah, there is a point where she not only gets addicted to drugs, but comes close to killing herself with them. So, yeah. For the 10th was gunshot, so I drew Shoto shot with a gun. I don't know by who, but just shot. This was fan art I made for my friend Bella because it was her birthday and I couldn't make an animation, so I could only make a drawing. This was me. I was trying to draw in like the old anime styles, like the 90s anime styles and stuff. I had recently gotten into Demon Slayer at this time. Demon Slayer, great anime. I really recommend you go watch it. And so I drew Hanu and Shoto as Nezuko and Tanjiro. You probably can't see it that well, but there's that. This was a comic I made about how Hanu falls in love with Shoto. So this takes place in like the first few episodes of Izuku being in the school, when Shoto's when they're doing the tests of like teams, and Shoto's like the cool guy who's half covered in ice and he freezes the entire building that episode. So Hanu and Izuku are watching him on the screen, obviously. And then Izuku is, of course, like amazed. And then he turns and sees his sister. Sadie, don't bump the laptop. And she's like super amazed. And she says, Izuku. That's the one, Izuku. That's who I'm gonna make my husband. And so that's kind of how she decided that she liked him. Next I wanted to do an art challenge where I drew my OCs as, these next few drawings are very lazy, by the way, where I drew my OCs as TikTok stereotypes. So, obviously, I drew Mari as a thought. Then after that, I drew my OC, Haley, as a Visco girl. And she's saying, I hope, save the turtles. I got very lazy with these, because by the time I got around to doing them, I had like completely lost motivation to do it. And then I drew Hanu as an e-girl. So for Goretober the 16th, I did Sewn, and I felt like this fit Shoto perfectly, because like he's half his mother and half his father. So I did that, and I sewed him straight down the middle. And so yeah. Then I was really proud of this one, still am. It's just Hanu gazing at Shoto from across a bridge. or something, whatever they're standing on. Y'all can decide what it is. This was when I started trying realistic art. It looks really bad, and y'all are probably gonna laugh when I show this to you. Unless you go to school with me and you've already seen it. The first thing I ever tried to realistically draw was Jacksepticeye. And it looks really bad. I think the worst part is that the eyes look like they're going two different directions. But they were like that in the photo. It's just really exaggerated in my drawing, which I hate. Then after that, I decided I wanted to try drawing realistic anime characters. So I tried to do one with my own base, but it didn't look that good because I can't do realistic like line art, sketching, anatomy, whatever, just coloring. So I decided I'd use the voice actors for the characters as a reference. So of course, the first one I ever did was Shoto Todoroki, and this is the Japanese voice actor for him, I think. And this is the Japanese voice actor as Todoroki. Next, this was a drawing I made for my friend that I was really proud of. I think this is the most proud. This is the best realistic art I ever did out of all my experimenting. Thank you. I was really proud of this. Honestly, this is the best looking thing in the sketchbook, probably. This was a thing I was trying to draw realistic Mari, but I started it and I hated it, so I gave up on it. This was like a very basic thing. It was just literally going to be a one-frame comic about Uraraka and Hanu insulting each other. But I gave up on it, like, barely even started it. Eventually, I figured out that I could not do realistic art, like drawing. So I decided I'd do a mix. I'd do my art style, but I'd just color it realistically. So this was a self-portrait I did. It looks bad. And I never finished it because I hated it. This was concept art for a game I either was or am making. I don't know which one yet. But this is concept art for it. This was a drawing I made for my friend. He kept drawing himself as an angel and sending it to me because he is an angel. He is my baby and I love him. Bean, if you're watching this, I love you. And so I drew him as an angel, but like he's kneeling and crying because my poor Bean is a depresso and he's always sad. So then I drew Hanu, referenced from a drawing of Izuku from the anime. Let's see. This was a comic I posted on my TikTok. It was an inside joke between me, Kat, and Cameron, my friend. And basically, Kat would say, and then at some point, Cameron was like, instead of we should say which left, which left, which left. So I made a comic about it. So Kat says, and then Cameron says, no, it's which left, which left. And then Kat says, but that's too long. And then Cameron says, just like my dick. And then it cuts off. I don't know why I made it. It seems pretty obnoxious now that I read it out loud. But I thought it was funny. The next person I wanted to do as a realistic anime character was Rem, from ReZero, because to me, she is like the ultimate waifu. I'm pretty sure for a lot of weeaboos, when they hear waifu, the first thing they think of is Rem. So I drew realistic Rem again based on the voice actor. Like, if you search up the voice actor, this is like one of the top photos of her. This was a comic I saw on YouTube at some point, and I decided to make it with Hanu and Shoto. So Hanu's like, "Hey Shoto, have you ever nyad?" And then Shoto's like, "Oh, what?" And then Hanu's like, like, "Nya." And then he's like, "Stop." This was a drawing I made for Cameron. He's a Wilford fanboy. Although, I think he's moved on to someone else, and I forget who. This was a test I was doing on, again, the thing I didn't finish for eye styles. Come on. The pages are sticking together. I apologize. Then, for the last few pages, I decided I'd make sketches for reference sheets of my characters, because I do gotta take a photo of these and color them at some point, because people always ask me for a reference sheet of my characters, and I'm always like, oh, I don't have one, so I'll make one. If I don't make one before the end of the year, I don't know. I'll do something. So, Mari's first and last name is Markiplier because, of course, her boyfriend, husband, person is Markiplier. Which I guess technically her last name should be Animates, because that's the entire name of my channel, but, I do what I want. She's a female, she's 28, although she technically doesn't really age, because she can't die. I've gone into this before. Mari's backstory is that originally she was a FNAF character, because when I was young I created her. Originally she was, originally I had two characters, Gracie and Mari, and you've probably seen them on my channel if you're like really OG, and I think they were in the Why Love Me meme. They were the gray and pink characters, but they've been a thing on my channel for like years. Basically, there are these two 14-year-old girls who, they were originally like animatronics, but basically because they were also living creatures, like, it's kind of hard to explain. I guess I should start at the start, because this is going to get really confusing. Basically, right at the start, two cats escaped the homes they lived in, and then they started sticking together. One time, they found, I don't know, this radioactive liquid. I don't know where, I don't know how. I haven't worked that part out yet. But then they become mutated humanoid cats, like, furries, real life furries. So, Marionette finds them and decides that she can pass them up for animatronics. So they're welcomed onto the team, but because they're different, all of the other characters from FNAF would always separate themselves from Mari and Gracie because they were different. The marionette decides that, and you see this in the Why Love Me meme I made, the marionette decides that Mari and Gracie are too much of a burden to keep on the team, and Marionette attempts to kill the two girls. She succeeds in killing Mari, but Gracie manages to defeat the marionette. Gracie, of course, being depressed at like her best friend since she started existing, is dead. Of course, begs someone to help her. So, who would come but the devil himself? I don't know. I'm working on that part. Basically, Gracie sells her soul to the devil to save Mari. And so technically Mari, she doesn't really have a soul, or she is half a soul, meaning that since she's like part of the devil or something, she can't die. So as you've probably seen in a few animations of her, she doesn't die. Since she's also an Undertale character, because again, I made her when I was going through my Undertale and FNAF phase. Basically what she does is when she dies, she turns to dust like an Undertale character. But immediately that dust will form into a statue of her, and the statue will come back to life and be her again. So she can really never die. So Mari Plier, she's female, she's 28, and yes, she is 6 feet tall. She is huge. Haley is my dark YouTuber OC. She's female, she's 21 years old, and she's 5.5 feet tall. She's kind of tiny. Hanu, her last name's Midoriya. Obviously, she's female, she's 16, and she's 5 feet tall. My persona, Haley, obviously is 16, almost 17 like me. Oh yeah, to anyone who's like still on this stream, because I'm pretty sure I've bored everyone to death by now, my birthday is the 23rd of January, so next month is going to be my birthday. I'm turning 17, so if y'all want to make a gift, hit me up, you know. So, and I'm 5'4" or so. I don't know my exact height. So, that's it for my sketchbook tour. Those were the last 4 drawings I made in my sketchbook. They were reference sheets, and that's it. So, I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. Sadie, do not sigh when I'm doing my outro. Fuzzy. Okay. Where was I? Don't worry, I will do live streams every time I finish a sketchbook, and I'm sorry this one didn't come sooner. I couldn't find the time. So, yeah. I hope y'all enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in another live stream. Bye-bye!